Once upon a time, in the small town of Maplewood, there lived a group of adventurous children. These children, all between the ages of 6 and 12, were always looking for a new adventure. They would explore the town, play games, and dream up new ways to have fun. However, there was one place in Maplewood that they had never explored: the woods. The woods that surrounded Maplewood were thick and mysterious. The people of the town often warned their children not to venture too far into the woods because of the stories they had heard about strange things happening there. But the children were curious, and they couldn't resist the lure of the unknown. One day, the group of friends decided to explore the woods. They packed some snacks and water and set out on their journey. As they made their way deeper into the forest, the trees grew thicker, and the path became more treacherous. But the children were determined to see what lay ahead. After walking for what seemed like hours, the children stumbled upon an old cabin. It looked abandoned, but there was a faint light coming from inside. The children were excited to have found something new to explore, and they eagerly approached the cabin. As they drew closer, they heard strange whispers and eerie sounds coming from inside. They hesitated, but then one of the kids pushed open the door. The room was dark and filled with cobwebs. A single candle flickered in the corner, casting long, ominous shadows on the walls. Suddenly, the door slammed shut behind them, and they were plunged into complete darkness. The children were scared and began to panic. They tried to open the door, but it wouldn't budge. They called out for help, but no one answered. The candle went out, and they were left in total darkness. Suddenly, they heard something moving in the shadows. It was getting closer, and the children could feel their hearts pounding in their chests. They were terrified and had no idea what to do. Just then, a voice boomed from the darkness. "Welcome to my cabin. You have trespassed on my property, and now you will pay the price." The children were paralyzed with fear. They had no idea who or what was speaking to them. They could feel something cold and slimy slithering around their feet. The voice continued, "I have been waiting for visitors for a long time. You will be the perfect addition to my collection." The children's eyes had adjusted to the darkness, and they could see that the room was full of strange objects. There were jars filled with strange liquids, rusty tools, and ancient artifacts. They could feel something moving in the darkness and hear a low, sinister chuckle. Suddenly, the lights came on, and the children saw a figure standing in the corner. It was a tall, thin man with a long, white beard. He was dressed in a tattered cloak, and his eyes glinted in the light. The man stepped forward, and the children saw that his hands were covered in blood. They tried to run, but the door was still locked. The man laughed and said, "Don't be afraid. You won't feel a thing." The children screamed and tried to escape, but the man was too quick. He grabbed them one by one and dragged them into a dark room. The children were terrified and didn't know what was going to happen to them. As they waited in the dark room, they could hear the man moving around and muttering to himself. They could smell a strange odor, and they knew that they were in serious danger. Suddenly, the door creaked open, and the man stepped into the room. He was holding a knife, and the children could see that.